Hello friends, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited because I finally got my hands on one of these Artist Loft dot grid notebooks today in Michael's. They had this one and they had one black one that was kind of abused on the shelf, I don't know, but I really love purple. So I picked this up and I did some ink testing on it and I'm really excited about it. I'm so glad that my viewers reminded me of this. Thank you, because I had been looking for one for a long time and I'd pretty much given up. They were sold out online, they were sold out in my local Michael's, but I have really been wanting to find a more affordable option for my bullet journaling. So here it is. It is 6 by 8. It's very close in size to the Leuchtturm. It's so close that it really isn't... it's just not very noticeable, the fact that it's just a little bit shorter, just a little tiny bit, and it's pretty much this, you know, just a little tiny bit wider maybe. But anyway, I didn't want to get into that one just yet. It's got the two nice bookmarkers there, a purple one and a little gray one. And it's the difference, the standout with this book, that what I found out was that it's white paper with the dot grid. With that 5mm dot grid, just like all the other books. I've got 4 different types now to kind of compare. But it is very bright white. You could probably even see the dots on this. So I like that. I like it very much. It's got a nice border. It's actually so reminiscent of the Leuchtturm that I'm going to kind of call it, and I ripped it when the back of this paper here when I opened it to do the pen test, but I'm going to call it the Jen Howe of dot grid notebooks, because it's a really nice nice cover, and it's got so many nice features. It does not have the little pouch in the back, the little holder, but I can put one of those in for the difference, $5 or because this was $5, as most of you probably know. They're $5, and the Leuchtturms are closer to $20. So I did a pen test. I went ahead and did it so you wouldn't have to sit here and watch me do it. And I went back in my other notebooks and I did the exact same pen test so that I could be more fair to each notebook, you know, trying out the exact same fountain pens in it and not just giving general opinions. And so what I found out was that some of my pens do show through quite a bit, and some really don't. I put X's where they did. That's what I like to do, so that when I pick up a pen to write in a notebook, I can look back on my pen test and see, or if I haven't written in it, I'll try it. So the Conklin Durograph did bleed through. The Lamy Safari, even though it's a fine, did, that just seemed to kind of wick right into the paper. And the Pilot Metropolitan Fine, for some people that wouldn't probably bother you. I like to be able to see the dots really clearly. So well, those two anyway, the Pilot Metropolitan and the Lamy, really bled through. The Conklin was almost okay. That would depend on my mood that day, I guess, whether I wanted to deal with that much show through or whatever. But those two pens definitely, with that ink, it's not the pen so much probably as the ink. But I was just thrilled because this opens up a more affordable option for me for my bullet journaling. I know I'll get used to the white paper because I got used to going from a darker cream to a much lighter, so I know I'll get used to that. And this is available in so many pretty colors at Michael's on their website. They were sold out on their website, but last night they had them in again. So I checked the store availability, and it said limited. So let's see what I like about it. I just really like the hardcover. It's sturdy made. It's nice. It's got the 2 bookmarks. Those are really handy. But really, I got to be honest, the price and the fountain pen friendliness are a little bit more friendly for sure than some of the other options are what really are important to me. And you'll have to decide what's most important to you with the notebooks. But what I wanted to show you was that really when I went back into the Moleskine and did that equivalent pen test, that exact same pen test, I found out that I was yesterday when I did my video, I was probably being a little bit too hasty in saying that some of my pens didn't bleed through, because I noticed that most of them did. The Lamy, the Conklin, and the Kaweco even bled through there. See, I don't like how that does that, because then I can't see the dots. And so I wouldn't even, at the price of a Moleskine, I would take this out of the running as far as these four. And then the Piccadilly just doesn't compare to the artist Loft. So that's what I found out. You know, I went in and added the pens I didn't use yesterday. And that was sort of iffy. I put half wherever I felt like it kind of bled through, but wasn't too bad. So in my view, and this is just personal, but in my view, it's between these two books. It really is. It's between the Leuchtturm 1917 and the Artist Loft dot grid, you know. And I know that I can just put in a little, you know, thing like this. I can take an envelope, a sturdy envelope, and cut it just right and glue it in so that I'll have a place for my stickers. So that's pretty much the only thing that this one is missing, is that little thing there. Of course, it's a luxury and great to have your index and your numbered pages in the Leuchtturm, but I'm not sure whether that matters, because I use a lot of these little tabs, and I use the bookmarks, which this one provides the same number as this Leuchtturm. I think the newer Leuchtturms probably have 3 bookmarks, but this has 2. And the size is very comparable and everything. So, whereas I'm recognizing that when I get into this book, and I did do the pen test on a new separate page so that we could look at that, there just wasn't any bleed through. So, this isn't bleed through. This is something that came from over here. Let me hold this up a little bit better. But you see, I was satisfied with everything there, that it wasn't coming through any more than just ghosting. And like I said, that, just ignore that. That comes right from that test that I did over there on the Lamy. So there's no problem. So that's where that's a, personal decision on my part as to, do I stick to these notebooks, or do I shift over to the more affordable option and be a little more careful about which pens I use, and fine nib and what ink I'm putting in. So I just wanted to share this. And, as we all know, when we first get a pen or a notebook or anything, our impressions are just initial. I'll come back on when I have used this longer, because what I was thinking was, I don't know about the binding, how that'll hold up. If I'm in this notebook for 8 months, like I have been, and I've been really hard on this one. Look, I don't know if you can see, there's a crease here. There's a crease there. I almost thought I shouldn't have hardcover journals after I realized, boy, I've been hard on this. I've been in it since June of 2017, so that is quite a while. But it's held up. It's not split or come apart or anything like that. So I will have to see. When I finish with this one, I'll be hopping over to this one, and that'll be a more long-term project to come back and let you know, long-term. But I just am very encouraged by the fact that there's this 1/4 the price option, because I really like to be in these journals and write a lot, and I can see that I just need to be aware before I start writing of what's going to work. And there's plenty of room here to continue my pen test, or even take up another page to do that. So I just wanted to get on because I was excited, about this. So glad to finally have one and be able to try it out. And I can see that I'll have to start way ahead when I want another one, because the lady in the store told me they just sell so fast they can't keep them on the shelf. So I can understand that. I'm trying to think if there's anything. So we've looked at 4. We've looked at the Artist Loft, the Piccadilly, the Moleskine, and the Leuchtturm, because that's what I have right now. I know there are more out there, different types, but I think my search is over for now. I'm going to go ahead and shift over from this one as soon as I'm ready. I'm not quite ready yet. In fact, I did a spread last night that I was excited about. I will share that with you, because what I'm doing, I'm preparing to start a local pen club. So I started just a simple spread on kind of thinking about what I need to do and getting clear on, you know, the who, what, when, where, why, and how that I want to do this, because I don't have any in-person friends locally that are into fountain pens, but I'm hoping to find them either through the meetup group or through building the Facebook page and advertising it as much as I can and letting my friends know. They don't have to know anything about fountain pens to come if they're just interested. So anyway, I'm only this far in this journal, so it'll be a while before I hop over, but I'm really determined to get into the Artist Loft one and try it out. And I know that it'll be good. It certainly was good with all my old traditional bullet journaling supplies. So, that being said, the other day I forgot to do a crystal. So today, because I got this beautiful purple journal, I was thinking about my amethyst and how much I love it. I'm not sure the lighting right now is going to do it the good justice, because I've got very little light from outside and I've got this overhead light glaring. But I'm going to read a little bit about the amethyst. It's one of my favorite crystals. And this is in the, it's not polished or anything, it's just in the raw form. So I'm going to go ahead and read about that a little. This is, of course, the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. And it says, amethyst is an extremely powerful and protective stone with a high spiritual vibration. It guards against psychic attack, transmuting energy into love. A natural tranquilizer. It's just amazing. And as far as healing, amethyst boosts production of hormones and tunes the endocrine system and metabolism. It strengthens It strengthens the cleansing and eliminating organs and immune system. An excellent cleanser for the blood. The thing about the amethyst that I love, it doesn't have to be cleared. It's naturally clears its own energy, and it's I don't know, I like the presence of this crystal in my life, so I wanted to share it. And there's a lot more here. It says amethyst is extremely beneficial to the mind, calming or stimulating as appropriate. When you meditate, it turns thoughts away from the mundane into tranquility and deeper understanding. Mentally, it helps you feel less scattered and more focused and in control of your faculties. And that would be a good reason for me to have it around, because I do tend to get pretty scattered with my thought processes. But this has been a lot of fun looking at these different notebooks, and I'm really glad to finally have one of these to work with. I don't think I'll be sad moving in from the Leuchtturm to this one. It's exciting actually, because I probably won't have to conserve pages as much, and I won't worry as much about it. And I could have an extra one for a special project if I wanted, and it wouldn't be like a $20 investment. So anyway, as we know, initial thoughts on something can change, and I will come and update you if I have a change of heart at all about this notebook. But it looks like it's going to be a really good option, and I'm real grateful that some of you reminded me and mentioned this again, so I pursued finding one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye now.